Hi tappers! Let's talk about how to make tapping a comfortable experience. And I don't mean with how you tap. We've covered that in a lot of detail. Today, I mean other forms of support. There are two frames of mind, which one is the goal when we engage tapping. We are either attempting to get away from something, or we are attempting to obtain something. We mostly talk about the getting away from, so I won't explain that. But the obtaining could look like tapping for promotion, or before a competitive event, before a performance or a presentation, or even simply getting a good night's sleep. So let's talk about support for getting away from first. When we are releasing a trigger, it's a heightened state of vulnerability, so everything is on alert. And all things that you encounter can feel more loud than usual. So consider all of your sensory inputs and how you can make them all more comfy. Will you feel more safe with dim lighting so it's not blasting your eyes? Or will you feel better with bright lights so that darkness can't feel creepy? Is the room the best temperature for you? Are you wearing comfortable clothes that feel good on your body and are colors that are either neutral or bring you joy when you look at them? Weighted blankets are something that is fabulous to have. And choose a sitting position that works best for you. Kick your shoes off, sit on the floor, get a pillow, find a comfy slouching position. Allow your body to move as it wants during your session. Changing body positions is often a cue from the body that something internally is shifting. And if you need to go to the bathroom during a session, please pause and go. That is another sign of release and can become highly distracting if you hold it all in. And be mindful of going to the bathroom ahead of time, if you can, to lessen the chance of that need arising during your session. Can you burn a scented candle, diffuse an essential oil, or have another scent that feels peaceful to you? Whatever it is, go get it. If it's coffee, grab a cup, or grab your bag of beans or your tea and have it nearby to sniff. If it's laundry soap, perfume your sweetheart's pillowcase. It's okay if it's weird. So are a lot of diets and exercises that we accommodate all the time. This is no different. Are you in a room where you will likely hear a lot of noises that will distract you? What about a white noise to tune some of that out? If you can't do that, I recommend focusing on the distracting noises and tap to accept them first and get to a state where you can say they're not affecting you. An example would be a leaf blower outside. You can't control it. You don't know when it's going to go away or become closer to you, and that's annoying. Instead of brushing aside the annoyance to try and focus, make that your first focus and find peace with it so it isn't already taking up a part of your tolerance. Music can be a tricky thing since emotions tend to bounce all over the place, and that can be hard to match with music. So if you do decide to play music, I recommend something that is very mild and doesn't change much over a long length of time if it's going to run the whole time in the background. And finally, taste. Make sure you have water and that you are hydrated. You don't want to be distracted by having a dry mouth feel. And brush your teeth. Or pop a mint in before you begin so that you have a pleasant taste there. Don't chew gum or have a piece of hard candy in your mouth. That can be distracting and still away some of your tolerance if you're deep into something and then you have to tend to whatever's in your mouth, as that can feel quite jarring sometimes. Okay, let's talk about when you are looking to acquire something. If you can, put yourself in the environment of where you want to acquire it. A good night's sleep is easy, lie in bed. If you are getting interviewed for something, find an official looking room that feels like the same space to you. If you don't have an office in your home, well, there are rooms at the library or common office spaces in apartment building offices, or imagine one while you sit in a chair at home. If it's a sporting event, go to the field or in the court, and so on. And dress the way you'll be dressed at that moment. Stand or sit the way you will be standing or sitting. Think over and speak out loud the things that will likely happen. Picture the things you want to happen. If at any time you feel resistance, you've found something that's likely to be a limiting belief that could hold you back. Now you can tap on that and get it out of the way. Picture yourself at the end of this event, walking out of the interview, off the field or court at the end of the game, or off the stage, and see what comes up for you there. Being in the place where it will happen, dressed in what you will be wearing, will greatly engage your senses in a way that might not happen by trying to imagine it snuggled in your bed, sitting at home. Both are great, and both can work magic, but you're giving yourself an edge in what might come up the more you can convince yourself that you are actually engaged in that future event right now. It is highly common to gain insights and improvements this way. It's even been clinically studied in sports, basketball and golf specifically, that I know of. The athletes were suited up on the court or the field, and they didn't physically engage, but they imagined the best case scenario while tapping, and they improved up to 20% in one 15-minute session. That's a pretty good payoff. Remember, your subby is constantly monitoring all of your environment, and you are asking your subby to engage with you. So accommodate it as best you can by setting your surroundings and your inputs for your wanted outcome, and your success will likely increase, and my guess would be by a lot. Let me know what you do below so that everyone can give it a try, and I'll see you soon.